Hey guys, this is Adam with TAT Express. In today's episode, we're gonna go over a toolbox tour. I know usually we do what's in the shop, but we had some comments on what's in the toolbox. So today we're gonna do a toolbox tour. Got a bunch of tools to go over. Make sure to subscribe to us. If you're not subscribed to us yet, hit that notification bell so you know next time we release another video. Let's get right into this.
I came from the mud, there's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the Lord.
Okay guys, so as I mentioned, we're gonna be doing a toolbox tour. I won't be able to cover all my tools, but we're gonna go over as many as possible. The first thing we're gonna talk about is the tool cart. The tool cart is a very useful cart in the trucking industry. You're not gonna be able to get the truck in the areas that you're gonna be working in, so having a good tool cart so that you can move your tools to the truck is gonna be very useful for you. So going through my tools, of course, we're gonna have a bunch of sockets. Usually I keep all the sockets up top. We got all the metric sockets. Most of them, this is gonna be 3/8 drive metric. I got some extractors here. I got some 1/2-inch deep sockets. Got my ratchets up here. Extensions, longer extensions, larger extensions for like clutch jobs, Allen wrenches, screwdrivers, Phillips head, flatheads, stubs. Got mics just to kind of test, check measurements on smaller items. Got longer wrenches just so you know break stuff loose. This is very useful. I've got the regular style ones as well, pry bars. Let me get this back in here. Different style pry bars. Got pry bars here, adjustable pry bars with adjustable necks. Very useful. Also got smaller pry bars for tighter areas, adjustables. Very useful, very useful. This is for starters, checking out starters. You can connect this to your starter so you can try to start the truck remotely. This is good for testing to see if starters are bad. Loctite, different types of Loctites we have. My top drawer, mostly I keep vice grips, channel locks, hose pinchers, just to kind of cancel out hoses, channel locks. It's got some wire cutters here. Also got here, we got some chucks, air gauges, changing tires. Also got some small 3/8, got a set of 3/8 drive sockets. Next drawer here is gonna be my wrenches. Now these are some good wrenches. These are good kits to get. These particular wrenches, you can take them anywhere, open them up. You got all your sizes. So this is a pretty durable set right here. I got this from Mac Tool. Very durable set. Shout out to Kevin, my tool truck guy, Mac Tool. Got my metric set here. These are really useful set. If you don't have a set of these, I would probably start off with this. This is a very strong set. Got the larger ones here. Snap ring pliers, specialty pliers. We also got some crusher wrenches here. Box cutters. Box cutters are always good. Bottom drawer here, got my battery impacts. This is for your quick connects for your T-fittings. If you're doing anything inside the truck, taking dashes apart. 3/8 drive, very strong right here. Got a whole set here of metric and standard 1/2-inch drive sockets. Most of my sockets are all gonna be high impact sockets like this, just because of course we're dealing with larger parts, larger trucks. Regular impact here, air impact, and of course oil to keep everything lubed up. So this is pretty much my tool cart. Down here I got a test gauge, of course hammer, couple just miscellaneous items, got measuring tapes. There's just a few items that we use. I'm gonna go over the cabinet next, so let's take a look at the cabinet. So moving over here to the cabinet. Now mostly the cabinet is gonna have all the specialty tools. This is gonna be sleeve pullers. Of course we got a sleeve puller here. This is for pulling out wet liner sleeves. Got my 1-inch air impact right here for taking off tires. You can check out the how to change brakes video. We use that. I'll link that above. Got a 3/4 inch impact. I'm sorry, this is a 1/2 inch, I believe. 1/2 inch drive impact here. Yeah, 1/2 inch drive. This is for getting the bigger bolts off. Pretty strong impact here. And like I mentioned, this here is mostly specialty tools. There's not going to be something that you're going to be using more often. I got all my fittings for radiator fittings for pressure test here. I have EGR cooler tester right here from Cummins. EGR cooler tester. This is pretty handy here when we're trying to find exactly where we're getting combustion gas. And if we are getting combustion gas in the cooling system, I have a block tester here. This is basically just testing to see if combustion gas is going into the cooling system. Pretty cool test. It's all color. If we have exhaust going into the cooling system, it's all color coded there. Pretty cool setup right here. Moving right along, we have torque. This is a small torque wrench here. 3/8 torque wrench for like injectors or valve train parts, light parts here. Got die cutters, cutting off in case you're doing a brake chamber, just cut that off right there. Grinders, got grinders as well. Chisels, pretty CP, pretty stout chisel right there in case you need to chisel something off. Got large snap rings here for transmission jobs, taking snap rings off. I mean, the list goes on and on. We got down here is our OTC boost test. If you want to check that video out, this is the tool that we used when we were testing for boost leaks on the turbo. It's a pretty good, useful tool here. In this same box, we have injector tests. This is for manual compression. Newer engines, we can do electrical with the actual computer. We can do compression tests. This is going to be for manual tests. Very useful. This is basically for the DD15. It's a dummy injector that goes into the cylinder, and basically we crank the truck and measure the compression. So, pretty cool tool here. Just endless tools here. Like I mentioned, we work on light duties as well. So this is going to be for a 6.0 front seal installer here. Here we have Caterpillar rear seal installer for a Caterpillar, just for the rear main seal. Usually we change rear main seals when we're doing clutches. It's very common that we replace the rear main seal. Another important tool, this is going to be in every shop here, is going to be your multimeter. Multimeter is very important. And we have a bunch of specialty sockets here. This is for your DD15 fuel lines. DD15 fuel lines. These are two different styles here. DDT. So these right here, these DD15 tools are very important tools when you're doing crankcase. I'm sorry, when you're doing cam housings. Very important to have these here. Air drills. We have Cummins or Volvo injector cup tools. This is for injector cups. The list goes on and on. Cummins parts are down below. We have a rear main seal installer for Detroit, sleeve installers. Also, the video that we did on the broken drive shaft, this is the U-joint puller. So we'll link that video above. You can check that one out if you haven't seen that video yet. That's a pretty cool video there. We have some other EGR cooler test tools. Have your T's here, whole set of T's. You know, these are very useful. These are going to be all your T sets here. Let's see what else we got here. This is going to be older style Volvo. This is going to rotate the engines. Not every time you're going to be able to rotate the engine manually, so you're going to use tools to actually rotate the engine. So that's going to be something we use there to rotate engines. Caterpillar rotation tool, manual rotation tool, and Volvo. This is a newer style for D13. That's going to be to be able to rotate your engine manually. The list goes on and on. We have this is some of the clutches. We have to center them. This is for centering clutches here. Older engines, we have the filler gauges for doing valve adjustments. We have more filler gauges here for valve adjustments. DD13 and 15. Well, the wire's busted on this one, but this is for DD15 timing tool. This is for your camshaft timing tool up top. And here is gonna be DD15 manual rotating tool here. So there's quite a bit, as you can see. If not, I can keep you here all day. So we're gonna move on to the storage area where I have some more specialty tools. So let's move on to that. Okay, so this is a storage area. You know, we're not able to fit everything into the actual tool cabinet, and toolboxes are never, I mean, it's a never ending story buying toolboxes. So this is a storage area. Got a lot of specialty tools in here. This is air and fuel test tool here. This basically has all our hoses to do air and fuel tests for Volvo engines. Also, this is gonna be here, is gonna be our basically checking our DEF system. This has a refractometer to test DEF. It has the actual tube here so that we can capture the DEF, so we can measure how much DEF's coming out. This is during quantity control test here to verify DEF systems. We use this a lot. As you can see, it's pretty dirty. We use this a lot. I got another sleeve puller in here. This is a different style sleeve puller. This one is a little bit more stout. This is for the stubborn sleeves. The other sleeve puller that we have basically just pushes against the inside diameter of the sleeve. But if we have a cylinder or a liner that's really seized up in there, this is gonna work a little bit better because it actually hooks on the bottom of the sleeve and it pulls it up. So that's a very useful tool here. When we're doing head jobs and we're going back together, this is a torque wrench here, pretty stout torque wrench. This goes up to about 600, I want to say, yeah, about 600 foot-pounds of torque. This is for main bearings. Some of the engines we still have to do a rotation with the half-inch or sometimes that 1-inch impact to get the exact torque setting that we need. Got rivet guns back here. Got rivet guns, different rivet guns for body work or we do any kind of trailer repair. Got a bunch of rivet guns back here. We have a regrooving machine as well. Let me pull this out real quick. Regrooving machine, basically this is a regroover so we can regroove tires. We don't really regroove tires real often. That's kind of why it's back in here. Moving right along, just got some older impacts that we don't use pretty often. Don't mind the computers up here, just don't use them at all. Just some 1/4-inch stuff, just some smaller items that we don't use pretty often. That's kind of why we keep it in here. Bigger wrench sets here, more wrench sets in here, more torque wrenches. This is a 1/2-inch torque wrench here. So just quite a bit of tools. As you can see, it took us a while to accumulate this. I have this is a CAC, basically to test your air-to-air cooler tester here. This is basically testing your air-to-air. It's got all the fittings to test that out. Pretty important test that we use if we find a CAC leaking. So that's mostly what we have here in the storage. Hope you like that. Okay guys, so that's pretty much the tool tour we have. Hope you guys liked it. Hope you guys learned something. If you got any questions or concerns, please leave us a comment below. I'll be more than happy to help. Make sure to subscribe to us if you're not subscribed to us yet, and hit that notification bell so you know next time we release another video. Until next time guys, be safe.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law.